The top two crypto trackers, CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap. Which one is better? This is a face-off, and I will give you the real truth about what are the pros and cons of these two tools, which one should you subscribe to, which one should you create an account with, or which one should you even get a paid account with. So let's dive into all the details, and here it is. So we have here CoinGecko, right? So I use CoinGecko a lot, and it's a nice product here. You see in the top the market cap of crypto as a whole as 1.405 trillion here. At this point in time, you see a 24-hour volume on all markets. You see the BTC dominance here, the ETH dominance. You see the ETH gas price. So they give you a few things in the top. They have a relatively unobtrusive ad up here. And then they list all the cryptos, and they list them by market cap. The market cap is listed here. So CoinMarketCap calls themselves CoinMarketCap because so many people are interested in market cap, because it's a very, very important metric. It just tells you, how much interest is there in that whole thing. It basically means how much would you have to pay if you wanted to buy all tokens that are currently in circulation, right? And yeah, that's an important metric to look at, and CoinGecko has that metric also. And yeah, you see how it looks like here. They have that nice 7-day chart here, which I personally just adore. I think 7 days is just the right time frame to look at if you want to have a quick first look of what's going on in the markets. They have that 1 hour, 24-hour, 7-day thing here. I think that's also really neat. So that's how it looks on the surface. So let's go to CoinMarketCap. It looks quite similar, right? So they also have their top line here with all crypto market cap, 24-hour volume, dominance, and a gas price. So it's about the same. They have their nice fear and greed index here. So it's kind of a little bit of tiles that you can put on your home screen, and you can customize that. And but having the fear and greed index as kind of a top thing here, it's also quite neat, but it raises the question, yeah, who creates that? Who, how kind of legit is this index here, right? I'm sure it is, and when you click more, they will tell you how and why. But in the end, it's quite subjective, I believe, right? And then they have the same. They have the last 7 days, the same thing. They picked that. They have that 1 hour, 24-hour, 7-day. So they basically have that same list. So you would now think like, oh, what's now different with these, right? So they both have an API. So the API means if you want to do something if you want to do something with just putting it in an Excel sheet or something, right? And you want to have the current price of some tokens, you can use their API, right? You can also use the API to build your own little app, right? And building apps is getting easier and easier with the advent of AI tools, and with the latest Google Workspace. They have that Deal with AI built in for their app sheet type of thing. So you can just type a few sentences, and the whole thing builds an app for you. And you can connect it to either CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap. I dived into all the details of these APIs, and I found the CoinGecko thing both kind of better, simpler for my purposes, and also substantially cheaper, right? And they have a great free tier for their API that you can use for about everything, right? So what else is different? You can show the full, there is slightly more tokens listed on CoinMarketCap than there is on CoinGecko. So I sometimes look into the market. I've heard about some specific tokens. I try to look it up. Sometimes I find it in CoinMarketCap and I don't find it in CoinGecko. But I've never had it the other way around, right? So I never found something on CoinGecko that was not on CoinMarketCap, right? So CoinMarketCap covers a slightly larger part of the whole thing. And then what I sometimes feel is like with some of these tokens, so let's look up something that I know about. It's called 3ULL. That's Playable Games here, number 775. And let's see the market cap here, right? So they have a market cap, a circulating supply, 24-hour volume, and they have a total supply and a max supply. So they have all three here. And let's look up the same thing on CoinMarketCap. Same token. And then they have a market cap, total supply, max supply, fully diluted market cap, 133.9 million, and fully diluted valuation is 19 million here. So yeah, it's all a little bit different here, right? And I feel like sometimes with some of these tokens, CoinGecko doesn't give a market cap, right? Because they want to know exactly the total supply, the max supply, and things like that before they publish a market cap here, because it's all dependent on, three levels of supply: the circulating supply, and then they have the max supply, and also the total supply. So those are three different things in crypto world. I have another video where I dive into the details of that. But it seems like, to me at least, CoinGecko is a little bit more on the cautious side of not believing what the issuer tells them of what the supply is. If they have any doubt what's really the max supply, the total supply, and things like that, they leave it empty. Whereas CoinMarketCap more often just gives some valuations and some notions about supply and stuff that maybe cannot be 100% verified, right? So I personally would trust CoinGecko slightly more than I would do CoinMarketCap. CoinMarketCap looks slightly more commercialized with a little bit more advertising. You see that little icon here and stuff like that. It's not that CoinGecko doesn't have that, and they are both commercial companies and they need to earn their money. But this seems to be a little bit more serious to me than CoinMarketCap. Yeah, so that's my little wrap up here, and I would say you can work with both, and they are both excellent tools. Me personally, I got used to CoinGecko. I dived into the details of the API, and it just seemed, more elegantly designed for me. It has all the features I need, but it's simple to approach. If you need the professional plan for the API, it's also cheaper for CoinGecko, and they seem to be slightly more trustworthy with, their supply and things like that. That's how I see things. But CoinMarketCap is also a fantastic tool. So there are it's no real warnings here where I would say don't use this tool or don't use that tool or there's a clear winner or something. They are both great tools. I would say pick one and get used to following the market, clicking on some of the info that you find about each of these tokens, and become an expert and get more and more insight into the market so that you do your own research, because this video obviously is not financial advice. It was just for entertainment purposes, and you need to do your own research always. And if you like content like this in the future, please give me that like button. It really helps the YouTube algorithm. Thank you in advance. And leave me a comment if I missed anything in this little comparison. For today, though, thanks so much for watching, and catch you guys later. Bye.